Good morning, readers. Today, I want to teach you about using multiple texts and combining information from those texts. So, yesterday, you're going to recognize this book. We read about Egypt. And today, we read also about Egypt. So, what we're going to do today is we're going to look at both of these texts and combine information that we read. So, in the book Egypt, we learned a lot of different things about Egypt, and we can look at the table of contents to kind of remind us what we read about. So, we read about where it was, its people, its land, animals, and history. And on our article today, looking at the headings, we read about Egypt itself, its nature, its people and culture, its government economy, and its history. So, what we're going to do is we're going to combine the notes that I took and we're going to talk about both of these articles together. We're going to combine our two ideas into one big idea. So, if you want to look, here we go. So, our content objective today is that I can collect and combine ideas and information I've gathered from multiple texts. So here we have two texts. We have the text Egypt and we have the text countries of the world. All right, now here I took notes on both stories when I was reading. So I have my notes that I took from the text Egypt, and I have the notes that I took from the text the countries of the world, Egypt. Now, some of these ideas are almost the same, and that's awesome. That helps us when we want to write about both of them together. So if we're looking at our notes, I have Egypt is in North Africa, and here I have the Nile River is north of Cairo, the capital. So I kind of like combining information that's similar. So these pieces of information both deal with location. And then I can combine other things that are similar. For example, where the pharaohs once ruled the land, and that they built pyramids. And then in the other text, we have that the pyramids attract many tourists. So those two ideas go together, as well as people speak Arabic and that most people in Egypt are Muslim. So those two ideas go together also. So what you want to do is look for similar ideas that you can combine together to help you talk about both of them. As you can see at the bottom here, what I did was I just created a short paragraph explaining what both texts were talking about. So I'm going to read this to you. It says, Egypt is a country in Africa. It has the longest river in the world called the Nile River. The Nile River creates rich soil for farming. Most people in Egypt speak Arabic and are Muslim. Egypt is very old and used to be ruled by pharaohs. They built tombs called the Great Pyramids, and now they are a tourist attraction. So, as you can see, I combined information from this text and I combined information from this text. So, this kind of just gives us a summary of what both of these texts are about, but we combined them and connected them together. We couldn't do this if the texts were talking about different topics. So it's really important, readers, that while you're reading your nonfiction texts, you take notes. So we're taking notes on bolded words. We're taking notes on things we think might be important or the most important about a topic. We're asking questions. We're writing down words we want to look up later. We're checking the text features. Those normally give us really important pieces of information. So that's where I got all of my information from. Yesterday in our lesson, we talked about how to take notes and which notes are kind of important based on vocabulary words. And today we're using pretty much the same notes to just combine two texts that are similar. All right. So remember, when we're talking about two different texts, we want to combine similar pieces of information. So I wouldn't talk about where Africa is and the animals because those two pieces of information don't really connect. So I want to talk about two pieces of information that are connected. You're going to try this today on your own, readers. If you have any questions, let us know. And I hope you have a wonderful day. See you later.